today. All right, thank you very much.
I am indeed talking about low tech, and as my colleagues will testify, I very, very rarely use PowerPoints either with my classes or with them. In fact, I'm quite low tech, and even though this is my 12th online conference, thank you all for coming today. For everyone who's involved in the organization, I think the quality of the talks we've seen so far has been amazing, and the turnout here is just phenomenal. So great stuff. We're coming up to the end of week 11 of online classes now, and it hasn't all been highs, I've got to say. I don't know about you, but some of my classes in recent weeks have gone a little bit like this. So what have you done today? Nothing. How are you? Next question. What have you watched on Netflix? Everything. So things were seeming a little bit flat, a little bit two-dimensional, in general just lacking a bit of colour and a little bit of flavour. So I've been experimenting with some low-tech ideas of trying to bring back a little bit more of that taste to the online classroom. So let's get those senses working. The first one, taste. Rather than asking, what did you have for lunch? Describe your lunch. Today, my lunch consisted of 2 items. One can sometimes be prepared in a healthy way, but mine wasn't. It's white and yellow, and it was nice and yolky. The other item came out of the freezer, and they can be fried or oven baked, and I had it with condiments, mayonnaise and ketchup. So what did I have for lunch? Yep, fried egg and chips. How healthy is that, huh? What can come out of this? Again, it gives a reason for listening. It can help to hopefully bring out some interesting language, and I think it can be done at all kinds of different levels as well. You can get some nice adjectives, you can get some food items, all sorts of things there. Next up, I spy. I spy with my little eye something beginning with C. Bet you can't guess what it is. What was that? What was that, Sophia? Cat. No, I'm sorry, it's not cat. Corkscrew? No, it's not the corkscrew. Chopsticks, very well spotted, but no. It is, yes, exactly, it's a cranium. Now, with this, I often use a hidden object game, but I also have an incredibly busy workspace, as you can see here. So I sometimes either take a photo of things, and they can do the same, but the easiest way is just sharing your screen with a hidden object game. I think one of the most fun things we had with this was just trying to say it as quickly as possible. So a bit of I spy with my little eye, something beginning with, and also just as we're waiting for people to join the room, connection problems, etc., that it's a bit of fun. It's something lighter, and we don't have to sort of talk about how we're feeling. That is important, I agree, at times, but judge the room, as someone said earlier today, judge the room, and when it's not working, something lighthearted can be just the thing to, get things moving along. Next up, sound. I always used to love the radio segment of secret sound. So secret sound. What sound is this? Could you hear that? What could it be? Sounded a bit, I don't know, kind of liquidy, didn't it? Yeah. It was, in fact, the Tabasco, another condiment which I could have with my lunch. Again, students then get to run around, so scavenger hunt, say, okay, turn off your camera, go and find something in your house, come back, we take turns of doing the secret sound for each other. This was with a proficiency class the first time I tried it. And so at the bottom of the screen there, we've got 106 ways to describe sound. And it was really, working on high level vocabulary. And I think sounds can be really difficult to describe too. So it was quite challenging for all of us involved as to, how do you describe that, and inventing words and using onomatopoeia and that kind of thing. It was great fun. There's also a YouTube video. So before I went low tech, I did see if there was anything available. And there's a wonderful secret sound video, which is great for young learners, and it's got a really catchy song. I didn't listen to it again because it gets stuck in my head for days, but it's got a secret sound song. You get 3 options and they learn the new vocabulary, and guess which one it is. So it's really nice too. Next up then, we're moving on to smell. And this idea came from a course book lesson that I was teaching, and it was talking about the Proust phenomenon and this link between memory and smell. So there was a listening in the book. We did that, checked that we'd understood, what the experiment was about, and then we replicated it. So the students went away and found something that smells. This one's there you are. And they came back. Very important instruction, don't smell it. So go away, bring it back, something that smells. And then they went into groups and talked about a memory that they associated with this particular thing. Then when we came back, we shared these experiences, and so telling the story and then smell it. And then we saw sort of what happened. There was one case, which was very moving actually, of a young girl who had, her mum had had a stroke, and she used to do art and had put this away. Her mum's okay now, by the way, it's okay. But she went to the drawer and she had this jar of paint. And so she hadn't smelt it in a really long time. And she opened the jar, and when she smelt it, these other memories of childhood came back, because she's quite an introverted young lady. And she said that when she was growing up and in primary school, the other kids saw what a good artist she was and would ask her to do pictures for them. And that was something that, I don't think she'd thought about either. And it was a lovely moment. Another one was the smell of candles reminding someone of vomit. And this was because of a game from when she was growing up, where you try and put as many candles in your mouth as possible. She was surprised that this was not a common children's game. Who knows? But it's been an interesting experiment. Will it work for all groups? Perhaps not, but it did bring out a lot of language. It was really lovely for the bonding of those groups. And yeah, I would certainly play around with it again on the right day. Finally, touch. What do we do with touch when we're here like this? I'm a big fan of the fortune teller. all ages, all levels. So we make our fortune teller. One of the downsides of this is that if someone can't do it, you can't just, go, here you are, Johnny, here's your fortune teller, I made an extra one. So that's one of the problems that you might have, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So on mine here, again, trying to bring in a bit of colour, and colour's not just for low level, so we've got obsidian, butterscotch, turquoise, lavender. Inside, rather than numbers, we've got some ways of describing sounds. And then inside again, you can use it for whatever you like, really. Predictions, I like to use it for future forms. So, bit of fortune teller there. Backs to the board. The classic. Brilliant for the online classroom as well. So, nominate a student. Sophia, turn around. The student turns around, other students get the word in the chat box and they all describe what it is. Great fun, and it very often turns into a bit of a sing-along. So you go, oh, Giuseppe, turn around. And I've been amazed how many young people know that song. So there you go. Breaking the fourth wall. And this is something as well, sometimes like to, get up close and personal with the screen, maybe pointing at people, wagging my finger, which I hopefully don't do in real life, face to face. Sometimes even giving them a slap or a high five, and just trying to make that connection and have a bit of a laugh, let's face it. So, keep it simple. That is the rule of thumb, I think. Things do tend to take longer online, so, why not just slow it down a bit? And, relax. We have stressful lives. Don't be too quick to monitor either. A lot of the kids, maybe not very young learners, there may be concerns there, but I got quite a number of teen students, and I trust them, and they haven't seen each other, and they want that contact. So put them in the breakout rooms and give them a couple of minutes to have a catch up and a chat. It's not the end of the world. And then I turn off my camera and my microphone and go in. Sometimes I like to get my cat, if he's nearby, and turn on the camera with my cat right up in front of the screen. And I'll never get tired of teenage lads in particular going, "Que bello," when he appears on screen. So that's rather lovely. Support everything visually. So we've got our PowerPoint, if you're into that kind of thing. But personally, a piece of paper, a Word document, a screen share, the simpler, the better. If things are going wrong, I think we've talked a bit about emotional contagion, or certainly it is a real phenomenon. So you getting stressed out doesn't really do much good. So just, that's not working. Let's go and take a look at our book, because use the course book. We've got it here. As we heard earlier today, it can give a sense of continuity to their studies. It also gives some much needed off-screen time, whether it's writing in the notebook or doing that quiet exercise there. It's just nice to look away and have that little bit of more concentrated breather time that's away from the camera. So, experiment a little, absolutely. Learn some new tricks and tools, but at the end of the day, keep it simple. And just remember, if everything is completely going wrong, just blame the technology. Thank you very much.
Lisa, I'm very disappointed. You said the fun was going to stop, and then we all had fun.
I'm sorry.
Right, I do have a question to pick up on, if you don't mind. Somebody wasn't quite sure about what you meant with the fourth wall, so you mind just explaining that again for us?
Sure. Well, again, at the start I was saying, and my students have commented on this too, that it's very flat. So we're trying to, much like it comes from theatre, is to say, right, well, here is this sort of illusionary boundary, and sometimes we need to try and break through it, even if it's not, really possible.
Thank you. It was quite scary when you did that in the actual talk, though. It made me jump because you're on a very big screen in front of me. It's kind of perfect. But thank you so much, Lisa. As always, I think did you say at the beginning that's every one of these you've spoken that now? Is that?
I haven't spoken. 1 year I moderated the Modern Languages room.
Yes, that's it. But always an excellent addition to the program. So thank you very much for finding time for us.
Bye, everyone.